Hello, I'm Tim Jamal, and welcome to the CompTIA Tech Council podcast series. CompTIA will be interviewing leaders of state and regional tech associations around the nation to learn more about the challenges and opportunities facing their membership and state. Today, we are pleased to have with us the President and CEO of the North Carolina Technology Association, Brooks Raiford. Brooks, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Tim. Good to talk to you today.
Also joining us today is CompTIA Communications Director, Preston Grisham, who is with us from Washington, D.C., who will be our producer today. Good morning, Preston.
Good morning, Tim. Thank you.
Well, let's jump right in. Brooks, tell us the mission of the North Carolina Technology Association.
Well, our mission is to support and nurture the technology sector in North Carolina. That's sort of the simple statement. And we consider the tech sector, frankly, to be everyone, because technology is pervasive. Every organization and institution and company uses technology, even if they themselves are not a tech company or provider. So we try to address the broader tech community, not just those that are in the tech space as a business.
Great. Tell us a little bit about what's happening in North Carolina. What are the current challenges facing technology firms in North Carolina to grow and remain competitive?
Sure. Well, I'd say an answer that's probably on par with other hotspots around the country, and that is the demand for talent. Especially the higher up you go on the skill ladder, the more narrow or shallow, I should say, the talent pool is. And so there's a lot of competition. There's also a positive side of that, and I'm talking to more and more HR leaders and CEOs who have this view, and that is you want to be in a place where there is great competition for talent, because although you risk losing some of your own people, it also means there is constant churn in the market. There's availability of talent as well. You wouldn't want to be a large player in a small pond where you're the only game in town, because it would be hard to attract quality talent to that region or that state if they didn't feel like they had options if they or their families move there. So we're very fortunate to be in a good position that way.
Excellent. Well, I see your signage there. I think you call yourself NCTA, not NCTA.
Right.
So tell us about specifically why should a technology company become part of NCTA? What are the programs and services and value that you provide to them?
Well, one of the main things any association like us provides is advocacy, particularly at the state level. Most of our member companies are small or medium-sized. They don't have in-house lobbyists or even external lobbyists who they retain. So they depend on us to pay attention to the issues that are important to the tech sector specifically, or to the tech ecosystem generally. Larger companies that might have the resources to have in-house counsel or outside counsel still benefit. What I hear from them is they appreciate coming in under the association banner, so to speak, or our umbrella, when going to meet with policymakers or others, because it's less of a salesy environment when they're there as part of an association. It's more of a peer discussion, an industry discussion, and less of a branded discussion. So they really value us for that reason as a partner, as opposed to a full provider of advocacy effort. In addition to advocacy, of course, like most trade associations or industry groups, we do a lot of programming. So we bring together, we're a convener. We bring together a lot of leaders across sectors to talk about challenges and opportunities and best practices. So we have conferences, we have breakfast series, we have various programs throughout the course of the year across the state. We are statewide. We have 750 plus member companies, organizations, and institutions. I say it that way because government agencies or units of universities can join, in addition to nonprofits, companies, and so forth. And our members collectively employ over 150,000 North Carolinians. So we have quite a broad impact, and we're spread out across the state.
Excellent. Last question.
Okay.
So NCTA is part of a coalition of about 30 or so tech councils that are part of a grassroots network that focuses on advocacy issues in partnership with CompTIA.
Right.
Tell us about the value that you find in working in a coalition environment with your fellow tech associations to advocate for policy issues that are important to the tech industry?
Absolutely. So I mentioned that one of our primary functions as a state or regional tech association is to advocate locally or at the state level, and that's where our primary expertise is and where our primary focus is. We also know that we probably don't have quite the resources nor the megaphone to advocate at the federal level on a consistent basis effectively, so partnerships are important. And some years ago, when the Technology Councils of North America teamed up with CompTIA for CompTIA to be that federal policy partner, it really enhanced the value that groups like mine provide to our members because it plugged us in more directly to federal policy. There are going to be issues like patent reform, immigration reform, tax policies, and so forth that are federal in nature but really impact our local members pretty directly. And so if we can provide that added service or added conduit through CompTIA, that's a huge value add to our members. We also have access to a nice online tool, thanks to CompTIA, that allows us to bring in our grassroots members electronically to advocate with their members of Congress, senators, and so forth to make their voices heard. And you and I both know one note from a constituent beats 100 notes from a lobbyist. So we really want to make sure they have that access. And lastly, we have the opportunity to come to Washington or sometimes convene as state and regional associations through our partnership with CompTIA and have access to national leaders in person from the FCC, from the Senate and House, from the administration and others, other regulatory agencies, that otherwise we probably wouldn't be able to convene with as easily or as frequently. And so that's a huge value add for that CompTIA provides our association.
That's excellent. Okay. Well, Brooks, Tar Heels or Blue Devils?
Wolfpack.
All right. I like that. NC State.
That's right.
Very good. Hey, Brooks, thank you for being with us here today. We really appreciate it, and keep doing great things in the Tar Heel, well, in North Carolina. I won't say the Tar Heel State.
That's okay. No problem. Thank you very much, Tim. Enjoyed being with you.
Take care.